Our final student award today goes to our valedictorian. This is not a traditional valedictorian, as all of our graduates have high grade point averages. This is a student chosen by a University Honors team to deliver the valedictory, the farewell address, to their fellow graduates. It is my pleasure to invite this year's valedictorian, Cecile Juarez Diroll, to the stage to deliver her speech. Cecile is a double major in public policy and political science. Her capstone project is an analysis of California Assembly Bill 98, the first state legislation to regulate warehouses in the Inland Empire. Working with her faculty mentor, Dr. Ronald Leveridge, she evaluated how state legislation can address the logistics industry, its growing impacts in the Inland Empire, while balancing economic growth, environmental sustainability, community protections, and labor rights. After graduation, Cecile plans to take a gap year, my favorite thing that people do, to work in politics before pursuing a graduate degree in public policy. Cecile.
Down a little bit. Good evening, University Honors students, faculty, staff, family, and friends. When I was selected to give this speech, I was reminded of stepping onto the UCR campus for my first year summer orientation. My memories of that week are a bit fuzzy because, well, you know, it was a cool 98 degrees outside, and we were moving quickly from one presentation to the next. However, I vividly recall my orientation leader gathering our group by the bell tower to share final words on our last day. I thought he was going to tell us to drink some water or get home safely. Instead, he said something that has stayed with me throughout my time at UCR. He said, college will be where you learn who you are, including what you value and what you want from life. At the time, his words sounded a little cheesy and didn't fully sink in. Over the past 4 years, however, I've come to realize how true they are. Class of 2026, we've gained many insights, both small and large. We've learned the importance of the little things, like finding the best parking spots on campus, shout out to Lot 30, dodging scooters on the way to class, and pulling all-nighters during finals with our Celsius, Red Bulls, and other energy drinks of choice. We've also learned bigger lessons, such as how to bounce back from disappointing grades, advocate for ourselves in unfamiliar settings, and live independently. Among all these experiences, 3 key lessons from my time at UCR stand out as the most valuable for our future endeavors. The first lesson is the importance of stepping outside of your comfort zone. As University Honors students, we have all had to push ourselves academically, whether by seeking a faculty mentor, leading a 3-year research project, or spending countless hours on our capstones. For many of you, stepping outside of your comfort zone at UCR meant becoming the first person in your family to go to college, or working 2 part-time jobs to afford college tuition. For STEM students, it may have meant 4-hour labs, bi-weekly midterms, and surviving OChem. I don't know how you guys did it, but congrats. For humanities and social science students, it may have meant writing a 10-page essay in a day or reading hundreds of pages each week, which I know you all definitely did, right? Okay, yeah. For me, stepping outside of my comfort zone at UCR was coming to UCR, where I knew no one and had no clear plan to study. My second leap was signing up for an 8 a.m. public policy class in my first cohort, not knowing much about the subject. Another step was joining the Highlander newspaper without any journalism experience, driven just by a strong desire to learn and try something new. This year, I took another risk by participating in UC Washington Center, UCDC program, having never been to the East Coast. It was an interesting time to be there, to say the least, amid widespread protests, a National Guard deployment, and the longest federal government shutdown in history. Recently, stepping outside of my comfort zone also meant applying to a competitive fellowship program and not being selected. And now, standing here today to give the speech I never expected to give, revealing personal details about myself, including that rejection. Venturing beyond your comfort zone offers new insights about yourself. For me, it revealed my passion for journalism and public policy and sparked a desire to live and travel outside of California. More importantly, it strengthened my confidence and resilience. As graduation approaches, we all, whether we want to or not, must step outside the familiar. Whether by moving to new cities, starting new jobs, or pursuing graduate studies. Though it can feel scary and overwhelming, remember that you've done this before and you can do it again. Challenge yourself, explore new opportunities, and keep taking risks. Growth often happens in the uncomfortable spaces of life. The second lesson I learned at UCR emphasizes the importance of diverse perspectives. We are both a Hispanic and an AAPI serving institution. Roughly 87% of us receive financial aid, and half of us are first generation. This diversity is most evident in Coastal Hall, named after Rupert Coastal, a local Cahuilla Native American activist, which serves as a hub for a range of ethnic and gender programs. It is also reflected in the University Honors Program, where students from different backgrounds work on capstone projects covering topics from public health in the Inland Empire to writing a short film and cell biology research. You may wonder, why is she talking about the importance of diversity? As a mixed-race person, half Mexican and half white, I have come to value diversity in all its forms, in ethnic and socioeconomic backgrounds, and in thought. As opinions editor for the Highlander, my work centered on this core aspect of UCR, from the writers that I trained to the weekly topics I covered and the editorials I wrote. It's been my mission to amplify diverse voices in the newsroom. When I attended my first editorial board meeting, where editors gathered to craft a collective statement on an issue, I was struck by the range of ideas and opinions at the table. We often spent hours discussing the most pressing issues students face right now, such as the revocations of international student visas at UCR, the effect of federal immigration directives on our communities, President Trump's war on DEI programs, the impact of NIH funding cuts on the UCR School of Medicine, and the UC's annual tuition increase plan passed last fall. At that huge table, with everyone squeezed together, I learned the value of each person's perspective and my own. We listened to each other, challenged others' ideas, grew to value competing perspectives, and talked for hours, and I mean hours. And that's the thing, class of 2026. Here, everyone comes to study, grow, and collaborate with people from varying backgrounds, education, and hometowns, and is changed by that experience. In an increasingly divided world, understanding, accepting, and learning from one another will help us in the future, because at the end of the day, we are all in this together. At UCR, you have all brought something different and valuable to each space you inhabit, whether it's the Highlander office, wet labs, club meetings, Greek life, or Coastal Hall. And as you continue your career or education beyond UCR, remember you deserve a place at the table. Don't be afraid to express your opinions and always make room for others. The third lesson is the importance of community and support networks, including friends, family, and mentors. Whether you're a commuter student who stayed on campus until 7 p.m. for club meetings, a transfer student who had to assimilate to campus life more quickly, or a first-year student who clicked with your friend group during Welcome Week, finding community is something we all need. If there's anything I hope you take away from this speech, it's how crucial your relationships with these people, many here today, will continue to be. I learned this lesson the hard way in my first year. I had a challenging time finding my place on campus. I didn't know anyone. I was far from home and family for the first time, and I had no clue what I wanted to major in or do with my life. At one point, I even spoke with a counselor and considered possibly transferring from UCR. Frankly, I was miserable and lost. I admit that my self-isolation and belief that I had already missed my opportunity to make friends on campus only worsened my feelings of disconnection. Yet, I wanted UCR to work for me, and I was determined to discover something I enjoyed here. I found my community at the Highlander, and again, when I joined the University Honors Program in my second year. I also found it when I declared my major in public policy and met my faculty mentors, Professor Ronald Loveridge and Gregory Hutchins. I even found it off campus when I made lifelong friends at UCDC. I am grateful to have met so many wonderful people at UCR who have taught me so much about public policy, research, journalism, the IE, what it means to be a Highlander, and ultimately, myself. I am also grateful for my steadfast support system, my mom, my dad, my grandparents, and my sister Gabby, who's probably watching the live stream right now. Hi, Gabby. And while I know that the people we met at UCR will always be there for us, we are now ready to go our separate ways and start anew. Without the ready-made social structures and on-campus proximity of undergraduate life, the post-grad era may feel isolating and lonely. As someone who struggled with this feeling before, I don't want to experience it again. So here's my advice. Nurture the meaningful relationships you have created here at UCR and make new ones. Lead a hobby group or invite your coworkers to coffee. Be the first person to reach out to your UCR friends and join the UCR Alumni Association. That's not sponsored, free plug, but you definitely should join. Stay open to anything that comes your way. Your community and support networks are essential. Look, I know there's a lot of uncertainty about what the future holds. The job market is rough. AI is replacing many entry-level positions we prepared for in college. We are living in a deeply divided political climate. Student debt and the rising cost of living will make it difficult for many of us to achieve financial independence. I understand how easy it is to feel disillusioned about the future. But as we navigate these challenges, class of 2026, remember that we're resilient. We are the first generation to experience, and I have to bring up my hand for this, a global pandemic, 2 Trump administrations, 2 fingers for that, rapid climate change, yeah, a world dominated by social media and rising gun violence. I had more fingers for that. Now, more than ever, the world needs people who are humble, kind, and altruistic. Finally, I challenge you to think about the question posed by my oh-so-wise orientation leader, but in a slightly different way. As you leave UCR, what did you learn about yourself? What do you value, and what do you want from life? My time at UCR taught me the importance of stepping outside of my comfort zone, valuing diverse perspectives, and building community. I value empathy and creativity. After a gap year, which, if we're all being real, we might need after finishing these capstone projects, I plan to pursue a graduate degree in public policy and start a career in public service. The answers to these questions will be different for each of you. Still, I believe, like me, you're all leaving UCR with a clear understanding of who you are, what matters to you, and your life goals. And with this knowledge, you'll be ready to write the next chapter of your life. With that, good luck. Congratulations, class of 2026. You got this. Yeah.